We've covered a lot of ground now. We've looked at adding content to static pages. We've looked at adding and editing blog posts. We've looked at adding and editing articles. We've looked at adding and editing products. We've set up a test payment environment, and we've taken a few test orders. And we've also generated a report of all the activity from our e-commerce store. There's a couple more things that we need to learn, however, and one of those is users. Heading into the Users tab on Yetti brings us to an index of all the users who are registered on our website. There are a number of different things that you can do with users, and they're pretty much very similar to blog articles and products. You can add users and you can edit users. You can also set up user groups, however, that's a bit more complicated and won't be covered in this video. So firstly, let's take a look at adding a new user. There are situations where you may want to do this. For instance, if a new member of staff has just joined your team and you want to add them as an administrator on your account, you can do it this way. There are 3 types of users that you can set up for Yetti. You can have an administrator, which gives you just access to the Yetti administrator account. You can add a customer, which gives you no administrator privileges whatsoever and just allows you to have an account on the website itself. Or you can set up a super admin. Now, a super administrator is the highest level of administrator that you can have on Yetti, and it basically gives the user unlimited privileges. They can add and edit orders, they can create posts, they can create items, and they also get access to Yetti Builder. Yetti Builder, to give you a quick overview, is the back end of your website, and it's where all the code lives that creates your website and makes it work. If you're just a standard administrator, you should never really need to engage with Builder. That's all done by the developers who manage your website's back end, be that label media or otherwise. It's unlikely that you'll ever have to create a customer manually in this instance, as when someone registers for your website when going through the checkout process, they'll automatically be created as a customer. Sometimes you have to create them manually, and it's this way you'll have to do it. In this example, we'll be looking at creating an administrator. So I'll select my user type and click continue. So here I get all the information to set up a new user. So I can set up a username, so let's say test user, and the email address can be test.user@wovenandtufted.co.uk. Sending an invitation email is one way that you can allow someone to set their own username and password details. If you select this as yes, as soon as you save and publish this, the person who is being added to the website will get an email inviting them to the website. When they click on the email, they'll have access to set their own username, so they can change it from test user if they wish. They'll also be able to change their password. If you click no, then you get an option to set a user's password yourself. So, for example, if someone has lost their password, you can go into the back end of the admin interface here and you can reset their password for them. In this instance, we'll just have a password of testpass and we'll make the user available. You shouldn't really need to have much else to do with the various different options on the left-hand side of the sidebar here. Groups, we don't have at this stage. We don't need to set up any addresses or applications or subscriptions, so we can just leave it at a username, an email address, and a password. If we save and publish this, it now looks like we've got a problem. The password that we used for this test user is a little bit weak, so Yetti's letting us know that we need to type in a password with at least 6 characters, which are a mixture of uppercase and lowercase letters, and at least 1 number. So let's use testpass1 with a capital T and a capital P. That should get rid of all these errors, so let's try and save and publish that again. And what do you know, it's worked. So now let's log out of this and see if we can log in with our new user details. So our user was called test user and our password was testpass, if I can spell it right. And there we are. We've created a brand new administrator. We've then logged out of our existing account and we've logged back in as that administrator. It's really easy to create administrators, super administrators and customers, if necessary, in Yetti, all from one dashboard.